Greetings! You'll definitely want to save this dough recipe. The pie is incredibly delicious. The list of ingredients is coming up now and is also in the video description. I'm turning on the oven right away because everything comes together very quickly. You can bake this pie using either the convection mode or the top and bottom heat mode. I'll be baking on convection mode at 170 degrees. A common question from you in the comments: which mode should I actually use? What's the difference between them? Remember, for the top and bottom heat mode, always add 10 degrees. If convection is 170, then top and bottom heat should be 180. Convection heats more powerfully. To 400 milliliters of kefir, I add 2 eggs. You can use either kefir or unsweetened yogurt, and sugar, 150 to 170 grams. I add a little salt. Be sure to add salt, and I also add 50 milliliters of melted butter. You can substitute it with oil. Be sure to warm up the kefir or yogurt. It should be between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius. And it's best if the eggs are at room temperature. I add 320 grams of all-purpose wheat flour, 7 grams of baking powder. I add a pinch of synthetic vanillin. You can use vanilla paste, vanilla sugar, essence, whatever you usually use. And I mix the dough. First, I combine the dry ingredients together and then mix everything. Attention! As soon as you have thoroughly combined all the ingredients, the dough is ready. Do not mix it any further. Mix it well once and then leave the dough. You must not mix it again. The baking dish can be any shape. Mine is my favorite porcelain one with little geese on it. The size of the dish is 28 centimeters in diameter and 4 centimeters high. Be sure to grease it with butter. If you are using a metal pan, for example a springform, use parchment paper as well. Or a silicone one. A silicone pan doesn't need anything at all. You don't need to grease a silicone pan. And I always add flour on top of the butter and spread it evenly in a thin layer over the surface of the pan. That way, I can be 100% sure that nothing will stick. Remember, we don't mix the batter anymore. Carefully pour the batter into the pan. Spread it out evenly. Everything is almost ready. The oven is already preheated. By the way, I prepared the berries in advance. I washed and dried them. You can use any berries, fruits, peaches, apricots, whatever you have. I went to the garden and picked everything that grows there. You can also use gooseberries, but I decided not to add them this time. Look at this huge blackberry I have growing. I don't remember the variety, so in case you ask. That's it, I add a little bit of everything. By the way, the amount of sugar depends on how tart your berries are and the sugar itself. Alright, I'm putting it in the oven. For now, I'll set it for 30 minutes. But remember, ovens are different, so keep an eye on it. My pie ended up staying in the oven for 40 minutes. 30 just wasn't enough. Please make sure the dough isn't raw, and never overbake your sponges or pies. The aroma is incredible. I'd love to share it with you. The whole house is filled with this berry fragrance. As you can see, after it's completely cooled, the pie doesn't stick to the pan. It comes out perfectly. Let's slice it. If you like, you can add a creamy sauce, ice cream, or powdered sugar. Or you can just have it as is. The dough is incredible. I already have a recipe on my channel. There, I made an apple pie in a skillet. By the way, I'll leave a link in the video description to that video where I made this amazing pie in a skillet without an oven. It's awesome! This recipe is incredible. Be sure to try it, and I'll be waiting for your feedback, positive or negative. Stay active. And, as always, enjoy your meal.